Hi, I'm Chibi Fangirl. I fangirl over and you just listen. This month I'm going to be doing something a little different. Instead of yelling at crappy movies, I decided to do something, well, positive. See, the new remastered version of Utero by Nirvana came out in September, and I didn't have time to actually listen to it or review it since I had my Halloween special and Adrian's Return took so long. So I decided, since Nirvana is my favorite band and we're in the month of November, let's call this segment Nirvanaember. I call this part of the show Hall of Praise. Hall of Praise is a show where I praise something instead of reviewing it, as well as giving a history lesson. Since the history of this subject is so long, I split this into 3 sections based by album and before and after the group. So let's begin. It all started in Hoquiam, Washington, which at the time was the most ghetto place in Washington. This is where Kurt Cobain and Chris Novoselic had grown up. They had met when they were teenagers and went to concerts together. Eventually, they became BBBFs. Best band buddies forever. You know, until, Kurt's suicide.
We're gonna need a drummer if we're going to be BBBFs.
Where do we get one of those?
So Chris and Kurt made a band and they needed someone to be their drummer. Eventually, they found Dave Grohl after many attempts to find a drummer.
I like him.
Me too. Can he be our BBBF?
Originally, the band name wasn't supposed to be Nirvana. The original name was supposed to be Gang of Four and Acid Riff-Off, but you can see why that didn't work out. I love this. Who's it by?
Hey, Chibi Fangirl, you need to listen to these people right now!
I love this. Who's it by?
Gang of Four and Acid Riff-Off!
I can't remember that title. It's too long.
There's only 3 of us.
Eventually, they came up with the idea of Nirvana. It's not stated why they're called Nirvana, but one theory on YAHOO Voices says they're called Nirvana by the actual definition, an escape from unhappiness and links to Kurt's angst-ridden past. You see, at the age of 8, Kurt's parents got divorced and he resented them ever since. Plus, he was the only child, so that made things even harder.
Guys suck!
His father wanted him to get into sports, but unfortunately Kurt didn't enjoy them and would lose on purpose.
Strike 3, you're out!
Okay.
But he was very artistic and musically talented. However, he got into drugs at the age of 13 and hated it. Refused to get help and his addiction got worse as he got older. Remember, kids, drugs kill. Anyway, he couldn't graduate from high school and he dropped out. His mother wasn't happy about this, though. Get a job or get out! Kurt was forced to move out. He stayed mostly at his friend's house and sometimes would sneak into his mother's basement after she went to sleep and would leave when she woke up. It is rumored that Kurt lived under a bridge.
Bridge, you're the only one who ever loved me.
But that's a myth. He only visited the bridge. Then that's when Nirvana got together, and in 1989, Bleach was released. Not that Bleach. That was released in 2001. Now, in my notes it says that Smells Like Teen Spirit was on that album. Unfortunately, the only albums I do own are the demo CD and the live concert, so I wasn't sure if that was true or not since it was also featured on Nevermind. So I did a Google search and it turned out to be false. The person who told me that is fired.
We're sorry, Chibi
Fangirl!
However, one fact that person did get right in my notes did say that Bleach is the start of alternative music becoming popular in the 90s, and that is correct. After Bleach was released, Courtney Love became part of Kurt Cobain's life, and that's where everything starts to fall apart. But I'll save that for next time. I'm Chibi Fangirl, I fangirl over, and you just listen.